mukbang slash story time of my first heartbreak. Okay, so not my first, my heartbreak. So I lived most of my life with my dad, so I'm a daddy's girl, but I wanted to live with my mom because I miss my mom, and my dad was getting on my nerves, and he got married, so I don't know, I wasn't getting the attention that I was used to, so I wanted to live with my mom. So I moved to live with my mom the middle of sophomore year, and this is when the story begins. So I moved to Tampa. I was raised most of my life in Fort Lauderdale, so I claim Fort Lauderdale, but I am from Tampa, Florida. So I moved to Tampa, and I was at this new school, and it was 100% different from the school I went to. Everybody looked different, they dressed different, they talked different, and you know, I stood out.
The girls didn't really like me, but of course the new girl guys were talking to me and stuff. So I had a lot of, well, I always had a lot of guy friends, but those were the people I was talking to, a lot of guys.
All right, so let's fast forward. So how I met my first boyfriend slash first love slash heartbreak. So it was one day, it was like my birthday, but it was like, my birthday's February, so it's cold in Florida around like from November to like February, it's cold. And I didn't know Tampa got so cold, so I got sick. So I came back the day before I was sick, so I didn't go to school. And the day of my birthday, I believe I was at school, but I didn't look really cute. Like, I had my hair in a bun and I had on like all black. But I saw this guy that I thought was cute. And so he came over to my friend at the time. I'm gonna call him...
What am I gonna call my friend? Lil.
That's his name, Lil Z. So I was with Lil Z, and he had got, at this new school, they would sell like a dozen donuts for $5. So he had like a whole bunch of
Krispy Kreme donuts.
And so the guy that I thought was cute came over, and he asked my friend for some donuts. And I was just like, I thought he was cute, so I was looking at him and stuff. And then he like waved at me because obviously I was staring. And then, this is so embarrassing. Okay, all right, so then he walked off, and I was like to Lil Z, I was like,
who's there?
Because he looked totally different from everybody at the school. Like, he didn't dress like the people at the school. So I was like, oh my God, he looks like a normal black man. Like, he looks nice. Like, he looks good. I want to get to know him. So then I told him, I was like, you need to put me down with that dude, because all these other dudes, I don't want to talk to them. Put me down with that dude. So then he did it, but then I don't think I didn't see that guy. He said he did talk to him and everything, and I guess he was down with it, but whatever. But I didn't see him for like a little minute, and then it was like probably 2.5 to 3 weeks later, and I was with Lil Z again. We used to hang out all the time. Like, that was my homie. Oh, I love him. All right, so we were like staying after school, and I took the bus home, and we were over by we call them there's the junior and senior parking lot. So we were by like where the guys we were by that parking lot. And so this guy kept staring at me, and I didn't recognize who it was. I was like, what were y'all talking about? Like, I want to know, give me tea. So then he's like,
It's like, none of your business. None of your business.
And I'm like, so I get on the bus, I go home, I take a nap. I think I did my homework, because at that time I was so studious. But I did my homework, and then I took a nap, and I woke up to a whole bunch of messages from Lil Z like, what's your number? What's this? Blah, blah, blah. And then I guess he gave back then when Kick was popping, he gave the guy my Kick, right? So then I get a message from this guy. I'm going to call him D, whatever. D. I'm just call him D. So I get a Kick message from him, and I'm like, I'm like, ah. So then long story short, we hit it off. We become really cool, and he ends up being my boyfriend. So everything was great until it wasn't great anymore. So at this time, when I lived with my dad, I was very sheltered. My dad was very strict. So I'm like completely a virgin. Never did anything and everything. So we were just really cool. I guess he really liked me and stuff. And so, I thought he was a nice person. So I started really liking him. And then I had my first kiss, and I was like,
Oh my god, I had my first kiss. And then everything was good until
Dee had a really close girl best friend, and I peeped that she liked him from the jump. But she waited until me and him started getting, like, he started having strong feelings for me and everything, and he fell in love and stuff. And then she told him that she had feelings for him. So then I already told him, I was like, I feel like she likes you. But he was like, no. And stuff. And he used to be really honest, and we had a really good bond. And then turns out she's like,
I had a crush on you since forever and ever.
so that's when problems started, because he wasn't trying to get with her at all at that time. He really liked me, so he was trying to be with me. But she was like, she would get mad at him, and she was just causing problems because she was like having an attitude with me and being mean to me for what reason, I don't know. And then so that kind of caused it made me uncomfortable because I didn't know anyone. I didn't have any girlfriends. He was like honestly my only friend there other than my family. That was it. So I felt a little insecure a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I felt weird. So because all right, so I checked his phone one day at school. And I noticed there was one message, and he deleted, like, you could tell he deleted all the messages between them two. So I'm like, why would you delete the messages between you two if it's nothing serious? He later told me, he was like, it was nothing that happened. I don't know if it's true, but he said, it's nothing that we're talking about that's bad, but I knew if you read it, it would come off wrong, whatever. So I was feeling uncomfortable with that. And then eventually we got in an argument, and I was like, I don't want to be with you no more. This is when everything went downhill. But then later I was like, you know what? And he was like, really? So that hurt his feelings a lot, according to him. So then we ended up getting back together, but for the rest of the time, he felt like he wanted to get back to me. So he got back at me. Like I said, I was a virgin, so we weren't sexual. So he ended up cheating on me the entire time. That was him getting back at me. And this was the ending of sophomore year, and he was a senior, so he was going to graduate. So I noticed that a lot of people would definitely be talking about me when I would be walking down the halls and like pointing at me and stuff. And then people that I started having, like, being cool with people, and they would notice, they're like, Aaliyah, people are literally pointing and talking about you. Like, people are like, you know how in high school, how, like, if there's gossip around school, like, people will be talking about you and be like, that girl over there, whatever. So apparently everybody in the school know that he was doing dirty stuff behind my back, and I was the only one that did not know. And I felt so dumb. But I didn't know at that time, and I would tell him, I'm like, people are talking about me. And one time, I remember one morning, because he had stayed home from school, and then I was
walking to my first period.
And it was a girl behind me. And she, like, called me a hoe. And I was like, and I used to, if I wasn't with him, I'd be walking by myself. Or with, like, 2 other girlfriends, like, throughout the rest of the day. But I didn't have any really close friends because I just moved to this new place. But I was like, I can't really prove it, and I don't know what to do. But I told him, he was like, So he was kind of upset, but he wouldn't even tell me that. So this guy had a reputation at the school for being, like, a player and all that stuff. But little old me didn't know that, new to school, whatever. I soon realized I should have listened, but whatever. So, and it would be more incidents like that. Like, I remember one time we were walking to class together. Like, a lot of girls were upset that I guess he was locked down with me and that he didn't lock down with anyone else. And he eventually took advantage of the fact that a lot of girls wanted him. That's just what happened. One time we were walking to class, and then this girl was like so loud. I didn't hear it at the time, but he later told me, she was like, is he walking with her? Is he holding her hand? Is he walking her to class? And I wasn't paying attention. She was another girl that was rude to me. But you can see, like, incidents that happen like all the time. Like, girls would always like want to be with him. And when he felt like I had hurt his feelings, he started taking advantage of that, and then it became school gossip, and I didn't know, and I was looking dumb. So eventually we end up, and I just got tired of him, so I broke up with him because I was like, I can tell you're lying. And he got really mean. He would say, like, he was just really mean to me eventually. Like, he put me down a lot. At that time, I didn't really see it. He just was not the same. Like, he just turned into a completely different person. And so I was just over it. But it's so stressful. So we broke up when he, like, kind of, it was like summer. And then we got back together, and obviously I lost my virginity to him eventually. But then once he left school, I started having, like, the following year, my junior year, I started having friends. Even actually after he left school, shortly after, because seniors leave early, people started telling me stuff and be like, yeah, we heard this. And I would bring it to him. I'd be like, this is what I heard. This is blah, blah, blah. And he would just lie because I'm not going to say, all right, so I guess in high school, you're really immature, and he wanted to be with me, but he also wanted to do what he wanted to do, because at that time I wasn't doing that. I wasn't ready for it. And even when I did lose my virginity, I was not ready for it. I let him kind of push me into something that I wasn't ready for. So this is just going to be advice for young girls. If somebody keeps pressuring you to do something like that, be sexual and do stuff, don't do it with that person, because they don't truly care for you. Because if they really cared for you to do something like that, be sexual and do stuff, don't do it with that person, because they don't truly care for you. Because if they really cared for you, they would respect the fact that you're not ready to be sexual, and that they would wait. So whenever someone's pressuring you, it's not the right one. They're not there for the right reason, and you should already cut that off. But at that time, I thought I guess I was in love with this person, and so I wanted to do it. He was like telling me basically it would make him be like how he used to be, and I feel so dumb. I feel so dumb saying this right now, but he would basically tell me that if I want him to be the nice person he used to be, that would have to happen. And so I feel like crying. So because I thought I really cared about him. Aww, why am I crying? Alright. Because Alright, so because I thought I really cared about him the time, I did. Jesus, what the frick? I need to stop being a baby right now. So because I thought I really cared about him the time, and I just wanted it to be like it used to be, I did. And he did not become the same person. He just got worse. And this went on for So I'm done crying, but this went on for 2.5 years where we would just be on and off, and we would be off because of stuff that he was doing, and then he would be like, oh, I changed, and then we'll be on again. So during this time, this relationship, I completely lost myself. I became very, like, depressed. I wasn't doing well in school anymore. I went from being like a straight A student, occasional B's, to like bad grades. Because I wasn't mentally there. I didn't want to go to school. I was sad. It was a lot of things. It was like how he was treating me, so how I felt with him, and then because of the stuff he did, a lot of people would talk about me still. And I didn't like being at that school, because when I was there, it reminded me of him, and then people made sure that I remembered that we used to go out. They used to call me I'm gonna just say Lil D. And I'd be like, that's not my name. My name's Aaliyah. But, so I was just freaking miserable. And then people be like, you still talking to D? And I'd be like, mm-mm. And they'll be like, well, this is what I heard. He was doing this with this person. And blah, blah, blah. And that just happened all the time. And then I would talk to him and he would lie as usual. But I was just so sad all the time, and I wasn't telling my mom, my dad. And me and my dad weren't really talking that much anyways, but I didn't talk to anyone about it, so I was basically going through this by myself. My parents didn't even know I lost my virginity, and it made me really sad. Because it was basically how I was raised. You were supposed to wait until marriage, and that's another reason why I stayed so long, because I wanted my first to be my last. No matter how bad he was treating me, I was like, no, he's gonna change. Like, what, girl? But so I was just so sad all the time. I would literally just eat and sleep, and I gained a lot of weight. And then that helped to take a blow on my self-esteem too, because I didn't feel like myself. I would look in the mirror, I'm like, I'm fat. And then he would say it too, he's like, you're fat, you're that. He was so mean to me. And I don't know why I stayed so long, but it's okay. It's a lesson now, and I'm a better person. But through all this bad stuff that happened, being depressed, being sad, being so terrible to the people around me, I was just really sad, so I was really toxic for anyone around me. I was just mean and snappy and just was not my best self at all. So, what am I talking about? But, okay, because I was so sad and I had such low self-esteem at this time, like, I really did not like myself. I was just crying all the time. I would have, like, anxiety attacks because I would just be anxious. Literally, my mom would take me to school and I'd be crying. I used to miss the bus on purpose because I just didn't want to be there. I did not want to go. I was just so sick. Like, depression makes you sick. You're sick mentally, emotionally, and your body feels sick. Because I was eating really bad, so I gained weight and I felt heavy all the time, and it was just a lot of bad stuff. So, one thing that used to cheer me up, which is what I'm doing right now, is YouTube. I used to watch this YouTuber, Aaliyah J, and I used to watch Latoya Forever, and it was one more makeup artist, but I really loved Aaliyah J. That's the one I remembered the most. But I used to watch Aaliyah J and watch how she did her makeup and how pretty she looked, and then she told the story of how she used to be bullied, and I was like, people people are mean to me too. Like, that helped me feel happy. And then when I saw like makeup, I was like, I wanna start doing makeup because I didn't feel pretty at that time. So that's how I got into makeup, by watching it. It's so funny. I'll tell the story of what I used to do to get makeup. It's so funny. I should tell it with my mom. But I used to get makeup and I had no job at the time, so I used to use my mom's money, sometimes without her knowing, but and then I would ask my dad for money and stuff. But I got into makeup, and honestly, it helped me a lot. This was going to senior year because I felt really ugly, and he was making sure that I continued to feel bad about myself. So then I started wearing makeup. And then I started again, it was going to like senior year, and that's when I cut my hair off. That's when I did my first big chop. And I was wearing makeup, and I was getting a lot of like positive attention. People were telling me I looked pretty and stuff. And so that helped to boost my self-esteem. And at this time, I said it went on for 2.5 years. I was starting, like, I was still with him, but I wasn't as like sad all the time. And I was kind of getting out of it a little bit. There would be times when I would fall back in, but it also is the reason why I joined the military, because like I said, I messed up my grades so bad.
And I wasn't focused on school, so I didn't even enroll for scholarship, didn't even try to apply to a college. And so my dad had this conversation with me. He was like, Aaliyah, like, I think you should join the military because you can travel, you can get school, and, you know, you kind of messed up and stuff. And I was like, you know what, Dad, you're right. I'm going to try to join the Air Force. And from that, I just took off. Like, it took me a year to get in, but it didn't matter. Like, I made up my mind that I was going to join the military, and I was going to make sure that I was good because I refused to be a bum.
So that's what happened. I got into makeup, and then once I joined the military, I completely cut him off. Completely done with him. I've tried to be friends with him, and you know, I believe people change, but some people are just not good people. It is not meant to be in your life. In my opinion, he hasn't changed. Maybe for other people he's changed, but the stuff he continually does, I still feel like he's the same person. He's still a liar. And, you know, he was a lesson, and it made me a wonderful person. I'm better now, and I will never let anyone treat me like that again. And you should never let anyone treat you like that. And don't let anybody talk down to you and break your confidence and make you feel less than you are, because you're wonderful. And that's what I've learned, is to never give someone my heart who does not deserve it. And if I don't want to do anything, I'm not going to be forced or pressured into doing it. Because at the end of the day, you're the prize, you're a diamond, and don't let anyone make you feel like you're coal or like you're not the prize, because you are. Okay? So it is what it is. You know, I had to go through it. It sucks. I hope none of my siblings go through that. And I try to talk to them all the time, and I hope that no one else goes through that. But if you are going through that, just know that there's other people who have been in your shoes, and you can get through it. And just because that person doesn't see your value does not mean that you're not valued at all. Okay? And my mistake was I didn't talk to anyone, so I was just dealing with stuff on my own, and it made it 10 times worse. I know it's really embarrassing, and it was very hard for me because it was just my beliefs and how I was raised, and I was disappointed in myself. And I knew that the people who raised my parents would be disappointed and actually hurt because of my decision. But it was the worst decision ever to first of all, to lie to my parents, because I hate lying. I am not that type of person, and I had to lie all the time, and I was so disgusted with myself, and my parents were so annoyed with me, and I don't blame them. So just get out of that situation. Don't let no one make you compromise who you are, because that will play a toll on your self-esteem as well, because that happened to me. And just know that you're a diamond and you're worth the wait. Okay? All right. No more crying. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell me your stories. Tell me I don't know, just say something. Tell me if you ever been through it, what you think, or anything. Just or just give ideas of what I should do next. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and then also you can follow my other social media, which is Instagram. It is this _ Aaliyah _love, and then my Snapchat is Aaliyah _do. So corny. But yeah, so bye.